He's still alive.
How do you know?
We've seen his footprints. The dingoes are following him. They'll keep following him, missus.
Why?
In case he falls.
Alongside Theo's heart defect, 48 hours without water is now becoming life-threatening. A healthy person could go 3 days without it, but Theo is not healthy, and he hasn't had a drop to drink in 2 days. Severe dehydration pushes him closer to death with every hour.
When the body starts shutting down, it's not pleasant. Every part of your body hurts. You can't sit down without the part that you're leaning on. It just aches. When you start walking, your legs hurt, your arms hurt. It had gone from being saved and rescued to trying to survive, and the idea that there's a possibility you were going to die. I was getting so weak and thirsty. My throat was constantly dry, my lips were starting to get swollen. I had nothing to drink, there was just no water about whatsoever.
Theo's body is losing 2 to 3 litres of fluid per day, causing muscle cramps, headaches, and extreme disorientation. Desperate for fluid, he makes an uncomfortable decision.
And it all of a sudden dawned on me, hang on a minute, you can't waste this. This is your body fluid's going to waste. This is the stuff that's going to keep you alive. It's the only bit of moisture you've got. You know, this was pure water going through. When you decide that that's what you've got to do to survive, that first mouthful's bloody terrible. The first time it near made me sick. I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, I've come down a few pegs on the ladder, having to do that.
Each time Theo drinks his urine, it becomes more concentrated and less hydrating.
The more times you put it through the system, the stronger it becomes, which in turn makes it taste even worse. I couldn't drink it. It was just too vile. I was just withering away, and it was just an ordeal. It's like trying to run a car on an empty fuel tank.
Some 70 rescuers are combing the landscape, trying to find Theo before it's too late. Based on where he was last seen, the police have defined the search area, but Theo keeps wandering in and out of it.
I was starting to lose hope, I think. They would come back and, I'm sorry, Pauline, I haven't found him.
And as ongoing air searches fail to spot him, Theo too is losing hope.
By the time he was flying over me 14 times, I'd given up. I basically knew he wouldn't see me.
Theo faces a third night lost in the outback. Lacking both food and water, his energy is rapidly draining away.
It was just lonely, cold, and then all sorts of things go through your mind because you've got nothing else to do but think. And yeah, and it wasn't pleasant. It just you just don't want to go there. It's it was just terrible.
Suddenly, he hears the terrifying sound of a deadly new threat.
The dingoes and the wild dogs were watching me constantly. You really start to think, well, I'm not going to get out of this.
The Aborigine trackers have been searching for Theo around the clock.
Have a look at this.
They finally make a breakthrough and find one of his prints.
Yeah. And he's got company.
But they've also spotted another print alongside Theo's. The paw prints of a predator, the dingo.
Can I speak to you, missus?
Yeah, sure.
He's still alive.
How do you know?
We've seen his footprints. The dingoes are following him. They'll keep following him, missus.
Why?
In case he falls.
They were saying while an animal is still fit and healthy, a dingo won't follow. It will come look and then it'll go away. But once an animal is very poorly, they just keep their distance and track it until it falls.
Theo summons his last ounce of energy to keep moving.
As long as you're moving, they're not even going to come anywhere near you, but as soon as you fall down, they're in for the kill.
But as he continues to walk in and out of the search area, it hampers the rescuers' efforts to find him. Theo's mental reasoning has now become so clouded that he clings onto his expensive metal detector, but drops his pick, his only defense against the dingoes.
I'd basically left the only decent weapon that I had against them laying back in the dirt. I thought to myself, well, I'm going to be dead within 24 hours.
And as his energy levels hit rock bottom, Theo was also losing his mind.
I was hallucinating. I knew I was seeing things.
Feeling lucky?
Did that come up the other day?